YouTube tutorial. So I was scrolling on Pinterest and I was seeing a lot of these crochet summer mesh tops, and I wanted to make my own and share it with you guys. This is a wonderful top because it's made up of only 2 stitches, and that's the V-stitch and the scallop stitch. Now this is going to be a relaxed tutorial, so I'm not going to be teaching you how to do the actual double crochets and single crochets, so if you don't know already how to do that, I would recommend going to watch another video and then coming back here. For this top, I don't have a written pattern, so everything is just going to be dependent on your size. And I used the Loops and Thread Silky Soft yarn. I used the color Winter White. Now this yarn calls for a 4mm hook, but I used a 3.75mm hook, and I don't think it makes that big of a difference. For my top specifically, I used about 1.5 skeins, although that could be dependent on the size and how tight or loose you want this top to fit you. That's about everything. Let's get started. Okay, so to begin this top, we're going to start off by crocheting the main body and portion of the top. Now this is made up of the V-stitch, and we're going to start off with this bottom part here. Okay, so to get started, we're going to make a slip knot. Like that, and we're going to chain the circumference of our chest. So this is going to be how wide you want your top to be. For me, I want it somewhat loose but still pretty tight, so I used about 155 stitches, but that's going to be dependent on your size again. So you're just going to start chaining. So I did the 155 stitches. Now you want to check to make sure that it fits. Just go around your chest, and it should give you about maybe 3 inches of space, and you want this so that you're able to put it over your head once you finish. Alright, so once you feel that your chain is at an appropriate length, you're going to go back to the first chain that you made, and you're just going to make a slip knot. And this is going to connect the 2 sides so that you have a complete circle. Once you've done that, you're just going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to do a double crochet into that same stitch. So wrap the yarn, go through the hole, go. Okay, now we're going to wrap the yarn once again, and you're going to skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and you're going to go into the 3rd stitch. So you're going to wrap the yarn, skip 2 stitches, go into this 3rd stitch here, and you're just going to finish off your double crochet. Finally, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to double crochet into that same stitch. Now that is going to be your basic pattern repeat. Let me do that again. So we're going to wrap the yarn, skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, finish the double crochet in the 3rd stitch, then chain 1, and you're going to double crochet once again into that same chain. So as you can see, it forms this V-stitch-like pattern. I'm going to do it one more time. Double crochet into the 3rd stitch, finish it off, chain 1, double crochet into that same stitch. And it should start looking something like this. It's also important to remember that working on the chain is the hardest part. And once you start working your way up, it's going to get a lot easier. So just be patient with yourself because it's going to be hard at first. But once you get through this row, it's going to get a lot easier. Again, wrap the yarn, double crochet into the 3rd stitch, finish it off, chain 1, and then work your double crochet into that same stitch. Alright, I'm going to meet you back once you finish this first row. Now that we've met back here, you want to double check first that it's not twisted, because then you'd have to redo it all. So just make sure that it's all even. You can see we have that chain that we had made originally, and you're just going to simply make a slip knot into that 2nd chain. Great. Now that we've done that, you're going to chain 2, and you're going to do the exact same pattern, which is just double crochet into the 3rd stitch, chain 1, and then double crochet into the same exact spot. So you're left with this chain 2 here, and now every single time you're going to do the stitches all the way around. You're going to meet back here, you're going to make a slip knot on that 2nd chain, then you're going to chain 2, and you're going to keep working around. Now if you're the kind of person where you think you're just going to chain stitch right through it, maybe you could put a stitch marker here at the top so that you can keep track of where that double chain is. For me personally, I can see it pretty clearly, so I'm not going to put a stitch marker, but if you feel like you need to, I recommend that you do. You're just going to continue this row by row until you've reached your desired length. It's another day, and if you're meeting me back here, congratulations, because the hard part is officially over. All that's left to do is the straps and the edging. I think this took me about 6 or 7 consecutive hours, so I'm hoping it took you guys less time than me. So now we're going to move right along to the bottom scalloped edge of our top. As you can see here, I had just finished up the final row of our V-stitches, and I've just ended with my slip knot. So after our slip knot, you're going to chain 1, and you're going to work a single crochet into the next stitch. Now this is the beginning of our repeating pattern for our scalloped edge. Once you do 1 single crochet, you're going to skip 1 stitch, and then you're going to work 5 double crochets into the stitch right after that. So that is the 2nd stitch. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to skip the next stitch and work a single crochet into the 2nd stitch. And you're just going to repeat that pattern all around the bottom of the top. So skip 1, single crochet, skip another, 5 double crochets. Oops. I've just made it back to the start of my scalloped edging, and to finish it off I'm going to work a slip knot into that next stitch there, and I'm going to tie off and cut with enough length to weave in later on. Now you can put on your top to figure out strap placement. I'm using my bra straps as a guide, and I'm marking them with safety pins. I also want everyone to say hello to my new puppy! Isn't she so cute? Okay, so now that you've roughly marked out where you want your straps to go, as you can see here I have the back straps marked and the front straps marked, and you're going to count the amount of stitches on this side connecting from here to here and the amount of stitches on this side, and you want these two numbers to be equal. Now we're going to get started on crocheting this front strap here. So you're going to make a slip knot, and you're going to join your crochet hook at this marked stitch here. Put your hook through the slip knot, take it through the stitch, and make a chain to join it. Now you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and this is the same exact pattern as before. Wrap your yarn, double crochet into the same stitch, skip 2 stitches and go into the 3rd with a double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet into that same stitch again. Now that is the repeat pattern for the straps, and you're going to work that pattern all the way up. So chain 2, make sure you turn your work, work a double crochet into that same stitch, skip 2, 1, 2, go into the third, chain 1, double crochet into the same stitch, and do it all over again. So you can see that you are going to be working your way up, and you're just going to continue this pattern all the way until your desired length. I would recommend trying the top on and testing the strap lengths to see which one you like best. So I've crocheted the desired length for my straps, and now I'm going to attach it to the back of the top. Now we're just going to work a single crochet, but first I'm going to flip my strap around so that the two right sides are facing each other, so that when we crochet along the edge, it's going to be hidden from the outside. So just single crochet across the edge of the straps, making sure that you're connecting the top and the straps together. Again, you want to make sure that you single crochet along the inside so that the outside of the top has a nice clean finish. So we're just going to start right ahead on the edging for the straps. You're going to do the scallop stitch along the strap and then around the body until you make it back here. So we're just going to do the same thing that we did before. Skip 1 stitch, single crochet, skip another stitch, and then work 5 double crochets into that second stitch. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 1 stitch, work a single crochet, and repeat that all over again. I've made it back around with the scalloped edging, and I'm just going to finish off with a slip knot. And now you can tie off and cut with enough length to weave in later. So now you've finished up with 50% of one of the straps. You're going to repeat this exact process on this side, and I'll meet you there once I've finished. So I've just completed the second strap and outside edging of the top, and now all that's left to do is join your yarn, and you're going to work the scallop stitch as we've been doing along the front, strap, back, and other strap until you meet back here, and all that's left to do is to tie it off and to weave in the edges. Just join your yarn on the inside of the top and you're just going to work the scallop stitch as we've been doing along the edge. So skip 1, single crochet, skip another, and work 5 double crochets into the next stitch. I finished up doing the edging along the front, inside straps, and back, and I've went ahead and weaved in all the edges. And once you've gotten to that point, you have officially completed the crochet top. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll see you next time!